Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Just Chat. Today, here with me is Uncle Dominic. Yes, that's me. It's so cold today here in Taiwan. I hope everyone is keeping yourself warm on this wonderful Christmas week. And besides that, I'm going to wish you everyone Merry Christmas. All right, so today we are going to focus on an interesting topic and something that is close to me as well. So we're going to be discussing about anger, anxiety, and depression. How these three things actually steal wonderful moments that could have happened in our life, but it's gone because we are so focused on them. So today's chat, we're gonna find out more how we can overcome this, or at least try to find ways that we can move away from it, so that we can get back our reclaim the words reclaim back our special moments. And here today we have a guest, Farzin. Let's invite Farzin. Hello, Farzin.
Hi, Dominic. How are
Well,
you today?
I'm great. Welcome to join us in our show today. Today's topic is it's exciting for me. So there's a lot of things I think we can talk about and how we can help our viewers improve their lives and improve our lives as well. So
Sure.
before we start that, could you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Okay, in order to go back, I'm just gonna go to around 2001 when I moved to Canada. So I immigrated to Canada, and it was a new territory for me because the language barrier, I had to learn the language, I had to learn about the culture because I moved from east to west, totally
Oh.
different. So, and I left behind all my friends, all the relatives, family, everyone. So it was a new experience for me. So I started going through different stages in life in here. And so I had some ups and downs when I started to settle down in here. One time I just injured my back at work, and it continued to bother me for about 15 years. It's a long story. I don't want to go to the details, but
Mhm.
I had that problem for a long time, and then somebody offered a help, and then when she helped me, it was not through something that I was familiar with because during that time I went to all the specialists that I knew and all the tests, medications. Nothing could help me, to just get rid of that long term pain that I had. So, but she offered me a help, and I accepted her help. And what happened was that my pain was gone. And she explained to me that sometimes there are some invisible conditions in our
Mhm.
life,
Yes.
something that is like an energy block or something like that. That So I lost my job when I had that accident, and that job loss was affecting me emotionally. And then I went through the period of anxiety and depression and those kind of things. When she helped me with those symptoms that I had for my back pain, I noticed that my other symptoms are vanishing too. So I felt better about myself and about life. So she said that, as I see, you have the talent to work on those kind of things, that line of work as well. So that was the shift in my life. I
Mhm.
started working on that, and then I started seeing the changes, the sudden changes when you release those kind of energies that are stuck in our body that we carry all the time with ourselves. So that's the short story of my life so far.
Thank you for sharing that, Farzin. From the by the looks of it, from you and through the video, I mean, we can't even tell that you've been through hardships. Right? Those things are in the past. Looking at you
Yeah,
now, you actually overcame that. And like most people say, if you get good things, you need to learn to share it, and you are sharing it, right? You,
yeah.
you have gotten past the hardship, the downs in your life, and now you are sharing it with others. So that is amazing. I will applaud you for that. That's really
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's definitely, guys, it's definitely not easy to overcome this situation here. Now, in case you all didn't know, Farzin is also an author, right? You're an author, you
Yeah.
wrote a book, yeah? And could you tell us a little bit about your book that you just wrote or you wrote
Yeah,
recently?
that is another story as well, because my mind shift changed
Mm-hmm,
during the time because of the experiences that I gained. For example, that battle that I had with my back pain, when I
mm-hmm,
look at it from where I am right now, I see that that was a good thing because it opened up a lot of things for me. Sometimes things happen, and then at the time we don't feel comfortable. We just react and we don't like the situation. But after a while, we look back and see the benefits that we have gained, the experience that we have gained through that
mm-hmm,
and that kind of things. So it changed my perspective towards life. From a hostile universe, I moved into the friendly universe. So I knew whatever happens is for my benefit, it's helping me. So, and so I went skiing last year in January, and uh, as I was skiing, and I has been skiing for more than 40 years, so I'm good at it. So
oh,
I never had any problem or injury or anything. But something happened and I fell down. I broke my shoulder, and I
oh,
knew instantly that it is a big shift in my life because of that perspective, the friendly universe perspective.
mm-hmm,
So I knew that something big is coming out of it. So what happens was that, so I couldn't go to work. I couldn't use my left shoulder, left arm at all, but I still could use my right arm. So I thought, what can I do now with my
mm-hmm,
just right arm? So I started writing because I had a lot of things in mind. I just wanted to bring it to the paper and just release it. So what happened was I started writing, and something magical happened because I at the time I was taking a lot of painkillers because of the injury that
mm-hmm,
was in my scapula, and it was separated. It was not a normal kind of fracture. It was severe, and I had a lot of pain, but while I was writing, I noticed that I forget about pain completely. I don't need to even take the painkillers. So I was trapping myself in the basement, writing and writing and writing for 12 hours, 14 hours sometimes. I would forget about time and space completely. So I started that process, and after a couple of weeks, I wrote a lot of pages, and I sent them to my publisher, and they said we cannot publish that because it's too much. You have to cut it down. So I started the cutting down process almost to the half, and then they published my book in very short period of time. I was able to write and publish my book. And the thing is that when you are in that state of consciousness, the things that come is not from your mind. It is coming from somewhere else. It's like you are a channel for some information that is coming. So sometimes even I go and check my book as a reference to the things that even new to me, and that is the process that I got familiar with the state of flow in life. Because if we go through life resisting everything, try to just be successful with hustle and bustle, and try to just break all the barriers and stuff like that. So that is some people have that as a definition of success. But I found something more profound, and that was the state of flow. When you are going with the rhythm of life,
mm-hmm,
dancing to the rhythm of life, then everything changes. You don't need that to go through that resistance because you are in harmony with the life, and the life force is greater than anything else. And when you are able to just be harmonized with that, that is where all the big changes start to happen. So
That
that
that is
was
the
the
thing.
story
Yeah.
of my book.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that again. Do you happen to have a copy of your book with you right now?
Yeah, I have it.
Can you show
You want
us the copy?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. The I was reading the topic. I don't actually have the book, so I was reading the
Yeah,
topic. The topic that you give it was like, was it a joyful fix, right?
yeah,
So
it's joyful fix.
yeah, so I was like, wow, that's a
Yeah,
good headline, right? The joyful fix, right? So
yeah.
I
And the
yeah, so that's
subtitle is how to break free from stagnation and move forward in life. Because a lot of times we get stuck and
yeah.
we don't know why we get stuck. We There are lots of things that we want to do, but we get overwhelmed and we cannot move forward. So there are ways that helps us to just break that kind of mindset and just move forward. Soon as you start moving towards a direction, the other steps just show up in your life and you can go further and further.
That is true. I actually wrote down a couple of things, and I want to share it to everyone out there as well, and then we can talk about this because I think
Sure.
Farzin mentioned a lot of things that I've written down as well, like different steps. First, the main important step is the first one is the self reflection. We always need
Mhm.
to self reflect on things that can cause us this pain. Uh, it's hard to get self-reflection out of this kind of thing unless something bad has happened. I mean, like for Frazin, something bad has happened to you and causes you to self-reflect on your life, right? And for
Mhm.
some of us out there, we haven't got into such pain yet that we couldn't self-reflect on it. Oh, because sometimes we got ourselves into such pain that we tend to break down, like you said, we get stuck, right? We get stuck in life. So that
Mhm.
point in life is considered the lowest of all point, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, it was about probably about 6 years ago now, 6 or 7 years ago now, when I got stuck in my life. And it was kind of depressing as well because I knew this happened. There's nothing I could change the outcome of this, but still, I feel that what's the point of life? What's the point of living?
Mhm.
And this kind of thing,
Mhm.
it causes me and to be stuck in my life. And there's a lot of things that I do because my profession is a job. Is that so? My profession, my job profession is a teacher, and so
Mhm.
I have to go to school and educate students. And so when this kind of things happen in my life, it makes me feel like if I can't handle this in my life, how can I educate others? Like, how can I teach others? Right?
Yeah.
So it makes me super low. Like, I knew the problem, but I don't know how to get past it. So then
Mhm.
it causes me to self reflect, right? But at this time,
Mhm.
but still, it's a down point in my life, and it takes a couple of years to get over it. Some people say it's really quick, you could get over it in a few weeks, but it took me a couple of years, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, so that self-reflection, like you did, right? You had your self-reflection and you thought about things that has happened and you changed your mindset in saying, okay, if I can't use my left hand, I'll use my right hand, right?
Yeah.
I have to move forward. I can't just be stuck here. I think that's
Mhm.
what everyone else right now that's watching this, we should know that there's something better out there, right? And we need to express the
Mhm.
emotions and our feelings. And Farzin, I think you did that. You express your feelings by writing stuff in your books, right? And express
Yeah.
out. uh, for me, it was more of starting this podcast as well, expressing out my feelings and putting it out there. So, not only that, you will reread your book, and then you can find all the things that you learn for yourself. And for me, I will look back all the videos that I've done and actually say, oh, okay, so it's kind of like a message to myself. And I liked how you mentioned that, right? So you can go back and reread again. So it's kind of like a journal that we are writing.
Mhm. Yeah, it's that self-reflection is very important, and it is, you know, we come through different stages when we are a child, for example, everything is provided for us. Our parents or caregivers are providing everything. As a kid, a small kid, when they have a problem, they start to cry, and the caregivers just take care of them if they're hungry, or if they have a stomach ache, whatever the reason is, they go and take care of the kid, you know.
Mhm.
So we are taken care of, and we have that feeling that life is supportive, life is our friend. And then we grow up a little bit more. When we go to school, there are some challenges in there. So
Mhm.
it's a new environment. We have to sit down. We are not used to just dress like that and just behave like that. And then we have to go through the homework and dealing with other students. Other people just push us around in the yard and those kind of things. They're all new experiences. And then we started developing a guard towards
Mhm.
life. We say that life is might not that be that friendly that I thought it was.
Mhm.
And so we start developing that mindset, the mindset of separation. We are separate from others, we are separate from life. And then we grow up a little bit more responsibilities, more challenges at job, at the different things that we experience in our life, and then that separation goes further and further and further. And everybody tells us that in order to be happy, to get to that happiness that you're looking for, because we are all looking for the happiness, you know.
Of
And then
course, yeah.
they say that in order to get that happiness, you have to be successful. And then they said that if you just have that status in life, that have that kind of car, that kind of house, that kind of position, job, security, relationship, those kind of things make you happy. And then we go through life and use those as a model to give us happiness.
Mhm.
And then what happens is, in the mid range of our life, maybe after 30, after 40 for some people, we notice that we have a lot of those things, but we are not happy, because happiness is coming from inside. It is not something that is outside that we are looking for. It's an inside job, I say.
And
Happiness is an inside job. So what happens is that we feel cheated, you know. We thought that it is gonna give us the happiness, but it didn't. You know, we feel that we are tricked to go through that process and stuff. So what happens is that a lot of people in that period of time, they develop something called midlife crisis, and that
Mhm.
is the reason for that. And it usually comes with depression and anxiety and those kind of things as well. Why? Because you are thinking about the past experiences that you had before. So depression usually comes with some other things like guilt, shame, and rejection and resentment, and those kind of things are developing in our experiences, and then they lead to depression because it's a process. Those are energies that we experience. For example, guilt is very, it might seem like to be very small, but it is huge. But we can just capture that kind of energy very easily. For example, you make a mistake as a kid, and then your parents say that, why did you do that, and
Mhm.
you didn't behave
Mhm.
properly and stuff. So we develop that kind of the sense of guilt for whatever that we did in the
It's so
past.
easy to get guilty. It's so easy.
Yeah. And then that energy stays with us because our subconscious mind says that I don't want to process that for now, because I'm just going to leave it for later. So we capture that energy and put it somewhere. Our subconscious mind puts that energy somewhere in our body, and we carry that energy for a lifetime. And that brings us down because we are carrying that vibration. When we are carrying that vibration, we are vulnerable to that kind of
Mhm.
vibration. So when situation arises again, we go to that depressed mode again because we have that vibration, we're carrying that vibration.
Mhm.
So those are the energies that we are carrying. So we carry a lot of energies related to depression, And there are some energies related to anxiety as well. For example, fear, doubt, stress, and those kind of things are usually lead to anxiety and anxiety attack, and those are related to the future. So depression is related to the past,
Mhm.
like guilt and shame that we had before. Anxiety is related to the future. And then we develop those kind of things during the time, and then there is going to be a time that we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and then that is the point that we break down, we have those kind of moments in our life, because we develop that kind of sense that life is hostile, life is my enemy, and I have to always be on my toes. I have to protect myself, I have to be careful. Whatever people say, they want to harm me. Whatever people behave, they're gonna just do something to me and stuff. I have to protect myself. We develop that kind of protective shield that makes that separation even further and further. And that those kind of things together are developing something. Some people call it the heart wall that separates us from life. And there are some type of energies that we carry. And everybody is carrying those energies. Everybody, on average, everybody is carrying about 200 to 300 of those balls of energies that are like bringing us down, you know so when we get familiar with that, it's a big realization. So what was it for me was that I'm not those kind of emotions. I'm above those emotions. Because if I be an emotion, if my emotion changes, I have to be changed to a different person, but I'm still the same person. I'm not my physical body, because our cells regenerate after 6 months. None of the cells that I have in my body are the same. They're all new cells. So I'm not my physical body. I'm not my thought or my mind. Because if I don't think about anything, it doesn't mean that I don't exist. So I'm a consciousness beyond all those things. And when I realize that, it helps me to deal with those kind of situations.
Mhm.
When I have an emotion that is reactive, because our emotions cause us to react to the things,
Mhm.
and it's involuntary. It is not something that we decide to get mad right now. We just get mad. It is a reaction that we have based on the energies that we carry. And when we notice that, we can develop an understanding towards ourselves. That that is why, because I carry those kind of energies, you know. So that understanding is crucial, because when you have an understanding mindset towards yourself, you start to develop understanding others as well. So you know that when somebody is treating you badly, those are the energies that are causing them to react like that. So you develop that kind of understanding towards others as well. And that is a big shift, because now you are shifting from harsh universe and hostile universe and those kind of things towards the friendly universe mindset. So you see that everything that is happening has a meaning, and it's helping you to develop some skills,
Mhm.
develop some talents, and help you to grow and learn some lessons. So it's like going to uh, the gym to work out.
Mhm.
If I go to the gym, my body might not be ready to just lift all those heavy things. And I start trying those, and then I come back home with all the pain that I have in my body. And I swear at myself, and why that did I do that and stuff.
Yeah.
Things. But imagine that an athlete who is training to be competing in Olympics.
Mhm.
He goes to the gym. If he goes to the gym and lift those weights, and if he comes home and he doesn't have that pain, he says that I didn't do anything today, because he's looking for those pains, because he knows that those pains are helping him to grow, to just get one step further
Mhm.
along the way. So everything is relative. Our mindset is relative. If you be able to change our mindset, everything else changes as well. So it's all about understanding. We have to start from ourselves, understanding ourselves first,
Mhm.
and develop a sense of forgiveness, understanding, and love towards ourselves. And everything else is going to fall into place.
I like that. There's so much stuff to get into from what you just said. And there's so much stuff in there. I think our audience are probably, astounded by so much information that's been there is that you have given. It's true though. So here, that's the thing. We have like you said, we have so much of this energy. Like I like the word energy that you use. Energy is considered a positive thing in most ways, but we do know that there's negative energy, there's positive energy, and you keep mentioning that there's this energy that we bring with us, like a burden that we've been carrying around, and it's
Yeah.
always there. It's always trying to prevent us from seeing the good things. Like I want to give an examples. Like because I teach junior high school students, and I've seen things in their life. It's kind of like what you said when we are being taken care of by our family, and everything's we're all in a good world, and then suddenly we meet the world. So it kind
Mhm.
of like we saying reality hit, and then everything is changing. Like
Yeah.
I thought this was a good world, but it's not. It's why is it like this? It's all happening. And you mentioned that we're building a defense, a guard against all these things. And
Mhm.
most times, I believe that this kind of things that we build to try to toughens us up or trying to protect us are actually not a good thing as well. And because of that, all the good things that is happening, we don't see it, right? It's just
Yeah.
it got stolen by us. Like maybe you have your first child. It's like, wow, that is an amazing a time for you to have your first child, but you are worried about debt. You are worried about your school life. You're worried about your job, and those things take away from those happy moments that could have been there, that we could have expressed ourselves, right? And as
Exactly.
students, you go to school for the first time, you're meeting new people, new friends. You have all this amazing experience that you could get, but you are so focused on people bullying you, or people doesn't like the things that you eat, or how you react yourself in school life, and it steals away those special moments, right?
Mhm.
It's terrible. So you
Mhm.
mentioned that we need to learn from this, understand ourselves first, and that is true. Like what we mentioned earlier, self-reflection. I think once we figure out the trigger that causes us to think like that, then we can figure out, like you said, the athlete that he knows that he goes worked out, the pain actually builds him, and so that's what it is. If we find out the trigger to our problem, we can slowly forgive ourselves. It's very important. You mentioned forgiveness. I mean, if we forgive ourselves that these things happen, and then we can slowly improve and move on. You mentioned one thing that I sort of agree and don't agree on, but we could talk a little bit more about that, which is
Sure.
things in life that we expect. We create a certain model, like we need better cars, better this, and then that makes us happy. I would say I don't have those things, but I do want those things. So if anyone will give me a house, awesome. But here's
Mhm.
the thing, I think those things I consider as short-term happiness. I mean, there is long-term happiness and there is short-term happiness, and I feel like for us out there that's having problems in life, long-term happiness is probably hard to obtain or get it at the same time. But at the same time, I don't want to be broken down, into misery. I want to be happy. So I feel like short-term happiness, like obtaining those small tiny things, can actually takes us on the right path. And I like that.
Mhm.
But I did mention short-term happiness. So that means we should not focus entirely on it. Because if we keep buying all these nice cars, nice house, nice handbags, nice, that gives us satisfaction, happiness, But like you said, once it has been taken away from our life, then we're like, oh no, you get into depression mode. That
Mm.
shouldn't happen. We should always take it to remember that those are short-term happiness. If they disappear from our life, great. Find
Mhm.
another one. Keep on moving. And then eventually, I think from there, we will get our long-term happiness. That's how I feel. So that's a little bit tiny thing that I studied different from what you were thinking. So
Yeah, yeah, you're on the right track. So the way it is that we have to develop that mindset that we deserve the best in life.
yes,
So that is important.
definitely, yeah.
So that is the mindset shift that I was talking about.
Mhm.
So we deserve the best in life.
But I
And
think
the
everyone
best,
deserves the best in life. Like everyone
yeah,
should. Like we should
yeah.
know that we are here on this world to have the best experience, to learn, and to get it. I know it's not wonderful all the time. We're gonna get some bad ones, but those bad ones can actually create us towards a better future, and like the end light at the end of the tunnel. Like we don't see it right now, but it's going to be there. It's definitely there. We just have to know that it's there, right? And so that's why we.
Mhm. But the thing is that sometimes we focus a lot as the goal, and then we forget that we are gonna enjoy the path of
Yeah.
going towards that goal as well. That is the difference. Sometimes we feel that I just want that house and nothing else.
Hmm.
And then we go and have that house, and then we are not satisfied. We just want a bigger house. And then because we haven't learned how to enjoy our ride
Mm,
towards that house,
I get what you're
how to
saying. Yeah.
enjoy the process, because we have to start with that joy first, and everything else just falls into place. Because, for example, everybody is talking about having good relationships,
Hmm.
but I think relationship is the effect. If I focus on the effect and don't work on the cause, then it is like I take a medication to mask the pain that I have in my body. But if I take care of the root cause of the pain, everything is going to be the way it should be. So for relationship, for example, that analogy. So relationship, we are looking for good relationships. So instead of focusing on the relationship, we can focus on developing more love towards ourselves and others. So love is the cause in here, and the relationship is the effect.
Mm,
So my mindset is that we have to focus on the cause, not the effect, the root cause, because that is something that is going to lead us to whatever that the effect is. For
mm,
example, for health, we focus on the health, and then that is the cause, that is the effect. Health is the effect. What is the cause of the health? It is balance. When we have balance in different aspects of our
mm,
life, we are living a happy lifestyle. So if I focus on the balance, the cause comes automatically. But if I focus only on the effect, there is a separation between the way that I am right now, the vibration that I'm emitting right now, and the thing that I want. There is a separation. But if I focus on the cause instead of effect, life is gonna be much more smooth, right? And for example, the money. Sometimes we are struggling with the money, and we want that wealth.
mm,
We need that wealth, and so what I think wealth is the effect. What is the cause of wealth? Maybe having impact on people, on others, creating some positive things in life that leads to that wealth automatically. So that is the source of wealth. If we focus on that to create good impact in life, whatever we do at job, for example, if we are expecting to have a pay raise. If we just want our pay raise and don't think about anything else, nothing is going to happen. But if we think that what value can I add at this job that I'm doing right now that is more than before, we start adding more value, and then the pay raise comes automatically. That is focusing on the cause instead of the
Mm,
effect. So it's a little bit different, but joy is the compass. If we do things with happiness, mindset, and joy, then everything falls into place. Why? Because why do we want to have those kind of things? If we start asking ourselves, why do I want a bigger house, a better car, a better relationship, a better health? And if I ask it a few times from myself, they say that if you have asked 7 times why, and come up with the answer and then ask again why, you lead to the state that you want to feel good.
mhm,
At the end of the day, you want to feel good to have that kind of thing. So you can start by feeling good instead of leading towards that. You start by feeling good. Your vibration is the vibration of feeling good.
mm.
Then what happens is that everything else gets matched with that vibration. All the things that helps you to feel good comes to your life automatically.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it
It
is.
feels like it's like saying, uh, good attracts good, bad attracts bad, right? So if we
Yeah.
have a positive energy, things will get better, and then plus that we'll be meeting with people with the same amount of energy that wants to obtain that special energy that you have, your aura that you bring, and they want to
Mhm,
join with you, and you create even better, right? Your life will become
mhm.
better and become easier, and that's it. I
Yeah.
think that's the end goal in mind. That's what we all want. I think that's
Mhm.
what we can all obtain as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things
They
in
s-
there.
yeah, they say you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. There is a difference between the two.
Yes, yes,
Well,
yes, yeah, definitely,
mm,
yeah, yeah.
mm,
I like that. This totally applies in student life as well. Because right now, it's for students out there, right? For students,
yeah.
you guys just got into this world, or this junior high world, or this high school life, and you started building a character for yourself. At this time, what you built on attracts those who are interested in what you are. And if you like, you know dancing and stuff like that, for example, people will be attracted that you like those things and they like those things, and you start to create a good connection. I mean, that's it. That's the same idea out there. We f- we are what we are, and when we attract people by getting people to like what we are, and that's even
Mhm,
better. So
mm.
all those good things that is happening, we definitely need to focus on that. I mentioned there's one thing that you mentioned, and I want to point at that because, for example, like we are driving. All right. So maybe we are driving to a happy place today. We're gonna go have fun today. But
Yeah.
while we are driving, someone cut you off in front. And most times drivers will start swearing or start, getting into an anger fit and stuff like that. But we forget that we are going to a happy place, things that
Mhm,
just cut in front of us. We're so focused on that, right? And
mhm,
ending up, the whole trip is ruined because we are so focused on that. We start swearing and we start getting angry. Our emotions get out of control, and people around us starts feeling that as well. Or if there are people who are in conflict with us at that time, it makes things even worse, and therefore the end result is not what you want. What is supposed to be a healthy, fun vacation, ending up to be ruined because of what we react to it. And so that is kind of
mhm,
the terrible part of having depression sometimes. I guess
mhm.
we all need to understand that. Once we understand that, then we can get past that, move on to a happy universe, right? Happier universe, like that.
Mm. Yeah, let's dig a little bit deeper on that scenario. So I'm tired. I'm coming back from work to home, and somebody cuts me off in the traffic. And because I'm tired, I don't want to deal with that, and I get mad. That's automatic reaction. I get mad and angry and start swearing, and then what happens is that that type of energy of anger gets trapped in my body somewhere, maybe in the liver, because anger usually has the tendency to go to the liver. And then it goes to my liver. And what it does is that my liver is not the same as before anymore, because that there's a stocked energy in my liver. It's called anger. I carry that energy from that time on. So what imagine that I'm pumped up, I'm happy, and I'm very high, and I have a high energy, and something like that happens. Somebody cuts me off. I don't even care, because I am full of that positive energy.
Mhm.
So that doesn't reach me. What the thing is that we are carrying those kind of energy. So what happens is that we are reacting the way that we don't like sometimes. But when we are aware, when we became aware that we are reacting, in that moment we can separate ourselves from that anger. You can say that I'm not that anger, that is just happening as a trigger
Mhm.
in my body. It's just because those kind of things, like the stain on our clothing,
Mhm.
you have a clothing that has some stain, we have emotional body, and there are some stains in there. So you separate yourself from that anger, and it helps you to go over it. You don't react, because sometimes we react and it stays with us for a long time. We think about it for a long time. But soon as we get out of it, and that awareness is like a light bulb, you know, when you start noticing things about yourself, about your automatic reactions, because we all have those kind of automatic reactions.
Mhm.
And we usually don't notice those. Some other people can see it, but we don't. And we can see it in others, but they don't. So that self reflection that you were talking about is come to play in here. So if we be able to watch those automatic reactions, it is like a light bulb that is turning on in a dark room. So darkness is the lack of light.
Mhm.
By itself, it doesn't have any meaning. For example, if I want to mention something, some instrument that creates light, I can say maybe a lamp or a flashlight. But what is the instrument that can create darkness? You don't have any instrument. Darkness is just a lack of light. You
Mhm.
know, soon as you start turning on that light of consciousness, you notice your automatic reactions, they dissolve. They started to dissolve, because as soon as the light comes on, there's no darkness. So that is a good practice, to watch your automatic reactions to different things, because those are the signs, because all the automatic things are coming from subconscious mind. And
Mhm.
when you do, and when you think about something, for every second, between 20 to 40 neurons are fired in your brain per second. When your subconscious mind doing a process, between 20 to 40 million neurons are fired per second in your brain. So subconscious mind is a million times stronger than our conscious mind.
Mhm.
So we cannot battle. It's not a fair battle to just
Yeah.
decide to go and battle and fight with our subconscious mind. It doesn't work like that. But the awareness as a lamp can do it for us. soon as we become aware about automatic reactions all come from the subconscious mind. So when you just go through that process of journaling, writing down, and reflecting on yourself, even asking people about the feedback if they see something that you do automatically, and you shine the light towards those in your life, things start to change. You
I
know,
like
what I do is that I release those kind of emotions based on the training that I've gone through, then the certification as an emotion code practitioner, and I developed other things as well, like joyful fix quantum healing modality that is I developed myself, and those kind of things. When I do those, I release those kind of stalled energy, blocked energy in the body, around the heart, and whatever organ that it is stuck in. And when I do those cleanup, people start to change, because that is the root cause of a lot of problems that we have.
mm,
As I said, a lot of problems, even the pains that we carry in our body, is related to a lot of those kind of things, related to that. Because if it's just a physical pain, if it's taking more than 5 months or 6 months, all the cells are new. So we shouldn't have the pain anymore if it's just physical. So if it's chronic, it means if it's more than 6 months, it means there's a background, there's an invisible condition, there's something inside, and that something is usually those stocked energy within our body. So
mm,
we need to detox from those energies to be able to move forward more freely and with more joy in our hearts. Because usually our heart, so we have a trauma in our life, we create something like a cell around our heart, because our heart is very sensitive and is energetically in there. So we are living in that bomb shelter,
mm.
and then that trauma is past, but we are still in that bomb shelter.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
our relationship with ourselves, with others, and our life is limited because we are living in that bomb shelter. But when we dissolve that bomb shelter, changes start to happen. And it's a good thing, because there are some ways to do that. We are not stuck. There are ways
Mhm.
to just get rid of those energies. As I
That's great.
mentioned, those is the awareness, but there are some other ways as well.
Yeah. So for all those out there who are experiencing anxiety, anger, depression right now, it's not just the stop point of your life. It's not. There
Mm.
is ways to get past it. So there are ways out there already. We just need to find them, right? And then understand it ourselves. Well, thank you, Farzin, for so much information we learned today. I hope everyone out there has learned a lot from our discussions, our chat today. So I would like to summarize everything. So Farzin, could you summarize, if let's say, three steps for younger generation out there, students who need to get past this point of their life, what would you say in the three steps that they could do?
Mhm. So the first step is recognize that you are not a victim in life.
Mm,
You can take control of your life, because sometimes you feel that we are victim. We don't have any power. We are helpless. So the second step is to develop that kind of self responsibility, full responsibility. I mean,
mm,
not just a little bit of responsibility,
mm,
100% responsibility. Because if I be responsible for something 100%, it means that I have 100% control to change it. But if I be 99% responsible for something, it means that that 1% is out of my hand. So I'm not in charge anymore. So we
mm,
have to take 100% responsibility for whatever we have at hand right now. It doesn't matter what it is. Somebody else even did something to us. we are responsible for
Mm,
ourselves to change the situation, because that is the only way that we can change it. And
mhm,
the third step is developing that sense of understanding and love towards ourselves,
mm,
because when we do that, then those kind of tools are available to just notice the automatic reactions and write them down and just pay attention to them and start getting familiar with those kind of things. And then after a while, your mindset is changed and you have a better relationship with yourself, because that is very important. If I don't love myself, it means that i I feel that I don't deserve that kind of love. So the energy that I'm emitting, the vibration that I'm spreading, is I don't deserve love. So what happens is other people notice that energy subconsciously, not consciously, subconsciously they notice that energy and they treat me like that,
mm.
you know. But if I start f- from myself, that kind of understanding that leads to love, it means that I'm saying that I deserve that love, and everybody else is treating me differently, start to treat me differently, because I'm spreading that kind of energy. So we are not a victim, we
Mhm,
can be fully responsible,
mhm.
and we can understand and love ourselves. So if we go through these three steps, it helps us a lot.
Thank you, Farzin, for this 3 steps. Everyone out there, remember those 3 steps. It can help you. I think a lot of things we learn in life and this discussion today in chat, hopefully it will help you to overcome this. And so we're out of time, and I want to wish everyone again, remember, this is a wonderful Christmas holidays coming up. Focus on the good things, not on the bad things, not on the bad energy. I mean, there are ways to get past all this bad stuff. So
And if somebody needs my help, they can just go to my website and record their voice in there in the contact page of my website, and then I can just set a time to give them a free consultation for the different ways that they can deal with whatever situation that they are dealing with. Either it's stress and anxiety or fear, whatever it is, there are some ways that they can deal with it. I'm willing to just give that help to others with those free sessions that I provide for people. So they can go to my website and check it out. The website is simply it's joyfulfix.com. That is the title for my book is, and joyfulfix.com on the contact page they can go, because I believe that uh, fixing something shouldn't be painful. It can be joyful,
mhm.
and we can have access to those kind of tools to start those changes without going through that much uh, misery and pain that we usually experience.
That's right. So you guys, if there is a way out there, and Farzin just mentioned it, I've put down his website down in the comment section. So please go there and check it as well. Joyfulfix.com. Right. And you can find all the services that you need to help you to get past this stuff. All right. Well, that is all the time we have today. Thank you, Farzin, for coming onto the show. Thank you, everyone,
Thank
for
you for
watching this.
inviting me.
Yes. So we're going to say goodbye to everybody now, and happy holidays. Goodbye.